Monster Castle, paranormal, radio hound, Monster Castle, paranormal, digital radio, KTLK.
And it also moves very slow. And yeah, it's true. It doesn't move fast. It doesn't shoot up into space. I mean, there's write-ups on it in some pretty prominent magazines, even on CNN, about the TR-3B. And they claim that it has all this technology and does all these things, but the only videos I've seen are just more of a slow-moving, almost like an airship type thing.
Willie.
Hey, Wolfman.
Thank you so much for calling in. You're our first, just random caller on our show, eh? Did you know that?
Well, I appreciate it, man.
You're the first.
My first ever call.
And I'd like to say thanks to Daryl for, Darren, sorry. I'd like to say thanks to Darren for getting a hold of you, and it was through him. So.
No, he's a good call. I always enjoy it when he calls in the Hoagie show stuff. And I always enjoy your calls. Man.
You heard me too?
Yeah.
When I call into the other side of midnight, I just call myself Michael. I don't call myself Wolfman.
Well, when you call into Amy's show, you call yourself Wolfman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last time, if I remember right.
Yeah. Well, a couple times though, Hoagie actually said back to me, "Thanks, Wolfie." Yeah. I'm like, what? How the hell do you know I'm Wolfman? He knows. I don't know how he knows, but he knows.
Oh, your voice is distinctive. But no, I got to catch the show you had on earlier tonight, and because Darren let me know it was on, and it was a fun show, man. You guys are having fun. You're talking about cool stuff, whether it's all crazy stuff or whatever, man. It's just fun to listen to, and it's fun to be a part of, and I appreciate you letting me be a part of it.
Oh, I love it, man. Well, we're trying to do something here, something different, right?
Yeah.
Caveman, he said that we're like therapeutic for experiencers, so we kind of provided sort of a therapy for experiencers. I kind of think he's right on that one. I try to do that, I try to help people if they had something traumatic happen, to try to, make them feel like you're not the only one, and maybe we can help you a little bit with tell you how to do, if it's a demonic presence, like I've said, you spread the salt around your house, and that's helped a lot of people already. People don't know about that.
Well, there, Wolfman. I think you're a crazy bitch, but I appreciate what you do, and I think you got a good heart, and so I enjoy listening to you.
Well, I really appreciate that.
Yeah. And I didn't mean that in a rude way either, but no, you just cracked me up, man, and it's just cool, man. You're talking about topics that middle of the night. Not a lot of other topics like that come up, man, and you handle it well. You got a cool demeanor about yourself. It's relaxing. I guess that's the word for it.
Well, that's what we try to do here.
Yeah. Well, you do a good job, man.
Not just me. I can't do it without my panel.
Yeah, I wouldn't have found this show if it wasn't for Darren, so give him some kudos, too.
for sure. Like, without Darren, Marcus, and Jeff, I couldn't do this show.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I found it. But I gotta, what is it, 4 a.m. here, I guess, or something like that, 3 or something.
Yeah.
I'm fixing to cook me some damn chicken breast here. And get ready. I got to do my fantasy football draft tomorrow.
Oh my God.
I know.
You got to dress up for that?
Pick.
You guys don't dress up like for that, do you?
Well, some guys wear the jerseys and stuff. But I'm not going to. I actually sold the guy who won the trophy last year, big Steelers fan, and I stole his coat. And I'm going to show up tomorrow. He doesn't know what's missing. And I'm going to show up to the draft with his Steelers coat on.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe put the hex on him. But we'll see. I'm just glad football's finally almost here, man.
Yeah, I'm not really into the sports so much myself, but like each his own, right? I like martial arts. Like I follow the what do you call it? I used to follow the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, or whatever. That's pretty cool.
That was the first pay-per-view video I ever got in my life was the UFC 1. That was back, man. They didn't have weight limits. They didn't have time limits. They didn't have no judges. And the guys fought, as you probably know, they fought in a freaking tournament style. So those guys would have to fight like 3 times in one night. It was freaking awesome, man. Watching little ass Royce Gracie. That little bastard went in there and fought like a guy. Hell, Royce Gracie probably weighed 150 pounds. And maybe in his second fight or something like that, he had to fight a guy that was freaking like 350 goddamn pounds.
I know, man.
Yeah. And I was watching, I think it was UFC 2, man.
He took him down like a spider. He spidered him down and just held him down until the guy couldn't take it anymore. He's like, just grappled him,
Wolfman. I'll tell you what. I think it was UFC 2. It wasn't Gracie. I don't remember who it was. But the guy got him down, basically had him a headlock. The guy's legs were spread. He freaking pounded him in the nuts with like 10 shots. And that's how he won the fight. I mean, it was insane. The guy took 10 blows right to the freaking nuts. And you don't see that in any of these fights. Because you used to could do that.
No, the first UFC was like, there was no rules. That's what was so cool about that.
There were no rules. And obviously no freaking gentleman's agreement because the guy got freaking pounded in the freaking nuts.
Yep.
I've never seen it like it. It was awesome.
Hey, you guys, Mark and Jeff, do you think you could handle getting pounded in the nuts like that?
Oh, yeah. Hell no.
I don't think I could handle that. No, that's a good. I'd rather be bonked on the head from an alien femur.
That was like in the Jackass movie or something where they would get hit in the balls with the bowling ball. Did you see that one?
Yeah, it's called Nutball. When they play Nutball, yeah, that's a terrible game. Terrible.
See that video with Steve-O the other day that took his skateboard and jumped over a car and he came down and broke both his legs?
No. Oh, man.
Yeah. I actually ran into Steve-O in Vegas one time. I was in the freaking bathroom taking a leak, and he came over to the urinal beside me. We made eye contact. I was like, "Hey, Steve-O." The dude was so freaking ripped. I mean, he was bonked out of his freaking mind. And then I see him on TV, like, I don't know, a couple months later, and he's like, I don't know. He doesn't do drugs, doesn't drink or anything, but I'm pretty sure he freaking got it all in that night because that dude could barely even stand up and take a leak.
All right, I'm gonna log out and let Darren come in for a while. I posted the links on all that stuff I was talking about if you guys want to read more about it. But,
All right. Thank you, Marcus.
And we got to have Willie on again.
You're awesome, buddy.
soon. All right, good night.
All right. Good night, Marcus. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Kudos to Marcus. So,
All right.
to these, it's really freaking me out about you seeing these orbs.
Yeah, it was weird, Wolfman. I won't lie to you, man. It was. I know it was.
So, anything else? Did you ever see any creatures up there? I think I asked that before, but
Yeah, the only creature I've seen was I was out fishing and water got kind of calm, whatever. And, this giant white thing shot underneath my freaking boat, and it was a halibut, whatever. But it was bright white, you know. And obviously, a halibut's their white side is on the bottom. They don't swim that way. So it could have been a whale. I don't know, but nothing ever came up to breathe there. And
Hello.
So,
Hey, Darren.
So I don't know.
so you saw a white thing underneath your boat, like huge thing. How big was it?
Well, just about both sides.
Like, was it the size of your boat? Or what size of boat were you on?
I was on a 20 footer, but I estimated maybe 50 feet wide, and it was fast. It was fast. It shot underneath me, and I was like, "What the hell?" And you know, like I said, I don't know. It could have been a whale, but I never saw anything come up for air. I never saw a blowhole or anything. And leading up to the thing coming up underneath me, like I said, is like the water just kind of, everything just seemed dead before it happened. And there were some ducks out there, and the ducks started acting weird, and they just took off. And I'm like, what the hell? And calm as could be out there. And it just shot underneath me, kept on going. And I saw it for, you know, a half a second. I'm like, what the heck? And I figured it was, first thought was maybe it was one of those Nor whales because they're white. And then I thought, well, it could have been a, you know, orca.
An orca whale, yeah.
That's, you know, albino orca. But like I said, where I was at, he would have had air. I would have seen a blowhole, but I never saw any, you know, like it was a whale. So I don't know, man. It resembled a halibut, but, you know, I don't know.
But not big. There's no halibuts that big. Is there really? There's no halibuts that big, is there really?
I caught one, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago, 160 pounds. But no, it's not that big. The one I caught, the 160 pounder was maybe 4 feet wide. It was 6 feet tall. But this thing was maybe 15 feet wide. So I don't know what it was.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Well, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, it was pretty freaky, man. You got there by yourself. And see some weird shit like that. But who knows? Who knows?
Darren, do you know anything about any fish like that?
No, I know about the oarfish. That's a weird one. That's rare, but it's not that wide.
I think we're slow moving. This thing on ass.
Yeah. Do you think it could be a Squid? They
A
don't come up,
squid?
do they?
No. I think it was an albino. It could have been a big ass shark, or
Yeah.
it could have been a sort of an albino whale. But the whale thing, they can hold their breath for a damn long time. But like I said, I never saw a blow anywhere.
You
And I was
probably
out.
you see whales a lot, don't you?
Oh yeah, yeah, all the time.
Huh.
So this thing was on ass, so I don't know what it was.
Wow.
Only time I ever seen whales is when I go to Walmart.
Nice.
Oh, come on.
Bonk.
Well, yeah, I was on the on Wake Island there in the middle of the Pacific, and they had these, I don't know, probably 8-9 foot eels that had like the face of a human, and that was like the freakiest thing you've ever seen. I don't know if that's where like the mermaid legend, came about, but it was like really long eel, and but it had the face of like it was like a person.
That's a naga.
I don't know.
That's in the East Indian legends. They call it a naga.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like,
Where did you see that?
it's called it's Wake Island. It's in the middle of the Pacific.
That's where they. Yes.
Yeah.
What were you doing at Wake Island?
Oh, I was doing a field trip across the Pacific Ocean, while I was in the Marine Corps.
In the military?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to go to Pitcairn Island.
Seems like the military like to go to these islands that have weird things going on.
Oh yeah, I've been to some islands that are high security. You just can't walk around. You've got security following you to make sure you don't go in anywhere you're not supposed to.
They probably have nukes on them.
Exactly.
We've got nuclear heads up there where he's living.
Yeah.
They're like 4 of our biggest weapon silos up there.
I know there's a submarine base 15 miles now. And it's ocean. They got these basically looks like little skyscrapers there during 2005, and the spring in between them. Allegedly, they a cute out there. But I don't know.
Well, I know where we're like 60 miles away from Russia, there's huge military bases there.
That's freaky, man. So I saw one thing on the Lake Erie. It looked like I thought it was dolphins jumping. I was about 10 years old. I said to my dad, "Oh my God, there's dolphins jumping out there on the distance." And thinking back about it now, it was like way on the distance, the size of an ocean liner. You know what I mean? Like the size of a tanker, like oil tanker ship. But it was coiling. Once I looked at it, I saw the water actually splashing off the coils. It was coiling like a serpent. And other people that noticed it there on the dock in Port Burwell, Ontario here, off Lake Erie, one fisherman actually dropped his fishing pole in the water and was going, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. When he saw what I pointed out, what is that? And he's like, "Wah," and he dropped his fishing pole in the water, and he said, "That's not dolphins, little kid, little guy. That's not dolphins. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know the fuck." Everyone was staring at it. It caused a whole big ruckus when I pointed it out, but it sure looked like some kind of a sea serpent. It was huge.
That's a big lake, isn't it?
Well, it's a pretty shallow lake, though, Lake Erie.
Is it?
Yeah, it's very shallow. Yeah, it's not very deep, that one. So
what's the biggest fish they have in it?
Well, they got those big eels. There's eel. I have eel stories, too. Like the one scuba diver I know was going down to, I think he was doing underwater welding for something, and he saw something that looked like a telephone pole, like a big long telephone pole at the bottom of the water, and he went closer to it, and the eyes opened, and it swam away. And it was got to be about 40 feet long.
Wouldn't fit in a barn.
And then there's also the stories that I hear from the natives about that lake. The undertow pulls kids in. The natives say that's not just the undertow. There's a monster. There's a monster in there. And it will take you. When the undertow's there, pulling, it comes in with the undertow. And it'll snag people and pull them down and eat them. You never see them again. And there's a lot of missing people from it. It's kind of like supports the whole story when the missing people that just go missing on the beach, just gone. And you never find them again. You can't find the bodies, and that's it. They're gone.
Will, are you still there?
Yeah.
What's it like living out there on that island? Do you have to pay taxes? Is it expensive?
Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah.
Can you build whatever you want?
Oh, sure.
You don't have to get building permits?
Well, you gotta get permits and all that stuff. But where I'm at, no, I can basically do what I want. But like I was telling, I'm planning on moving farther north here, hopefully within the next month. So we'll see what happens.
Is fisherman your full-time profession? Or is
it was time, but due to some family issues, I got to take care of elder parent and stuff. So, and this year kind of stuck for fishing, man. To be honest with you, and I had a lot of trouble with my boat and all that crap. So, I have a part-time job that I do, but I'm trying to get a job with the state. And that's why I hope I can move.
Where are you hoping to move back down to?
No, I'm going to move up to Juneau.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. I'm coming up there. Fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. I'm coming up to Alaska. Or Yukon or something, man. Gotta get the fuck out of here.
Juneau kind of sucks because, it's the capital. Hell, they won't let me burn, where I went out my backyard or whatever. So I'll feel like I'm moving to a city. So we'll see what happens.
Like when people come over that you don't like, you could just kill them and burn them, right?
Well, I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, if a guy had to do it, man, I'd put him in a freaking crab pot.
What about How do you guys tell if someone's a witch up there? Do you still float them and see if they float?
Dude, if I see a woman, and the last thing I'm going to give a damn about if she's a witch, and why don't you freaking out.
That's a girl. My God, that's a girl. Holy shit. Who cares if she's a witch? That's a woman.
You damn. I don't care what she is. If she ain't got a fucking gun pointed at my head, I will take my pants off and welcome her into my house.
Yep. That's the way it goes. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. She's a woman. You let her do whatever the fuck she wants.
Witch or no witch, if they have a vagina, they have all the power.
Yeah. How many women are there per man in Alaska? Like 10 men? Or...
Exact figures on that. I don't know the exact figures. I just know
a lot of chicken wings. You gotta use the chicken wings.
What?
I know it's sick. You gotta use the chicken wings. That's what I was told. If you don't have women, you use a raw chicken wing.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's nasty. Nasty.
I know. And you probably get salmonella on your dick.
Yeah. Willie, are there a lot of mosquitoes in the summer?
Oh, sure there are.
Are they a nuisance? Like really, really bad?
Actually, they don't bother much. The man is I smoke cigars and freaking don't bother.
Keeps them all off?
What's that?
The cigar smoke keeps them off?
Yeah, absolutely. I really any bug. So.
I have a friend that lives up there, and he says that where he lives, it's like 2.5 hours north of Anchorage, next to some national park. And he says they're just horrible. You go out and you'll have 200 on you within just minutes.
Okay, hey, Jeff, you got any more questions? This is 6 minutes left. Darren, any more questions for our guest?
Well, I can't think of any right now.
Jeff?
Yeah, I don't have any right now. No.
Okay, all right, that's cool.
Well, I mean,
we'll just keep talking
no
about
question.
what we're talking about. I just thought if anybody had an important question, just get it out now.
Well, I talked about the orbs that I saw, the
Hello?
glowing like balls, I guess, in the sky that I saw in San Diego. Are you there?
Mm-hmm. We're here.
So I just wonder if you'd seen any of the like glowing type of just balls in the sky.
Well, yeah, all my sightings were that. What about you, Luke?
It's basically just that time with the orbs.
Yeah, they're freaky. They're scary, man. Most of the sightings I've had are all the fireball type.
Yeah.
So I guess I would call them orbs.
Are they bright? I mean, like really bright, or
No, not even very bright, really. But you can see the flames coming off it, like some kind of a plasmic, like a plasma sort of energy coming off it. But it's not making any sound, and it's not giving off heat.
Huh.
Luke, were you afraid when you saw those?
Of course, I was terrified.
How about Willie?
Willie, were you scared?
No, I wasn't afraid at all. My first thought
Still there?
was My first was players. I wasn't scared at all. And then I was just kind of, and the whole time I was thinking, damn, I have a fun I can take those with, and someone else with a damn dog. And I just kind of knew I was watching weird.
Damn, that Skype feed sucks, man. It's cutting you in and out so bad we can't hardly hear what you're saying.
I think I got the gist of it. He came in good earlier.
Yeah, once in a while, yeah.
It's being up there in Alaska, probably.
But no, Darren, I wasn't scared.
It wasn't too close to you either, though.
What's that?
Oh, Wolfman's flaming ball came right down to him. He had to jump in a ditch.
Yeah, it was nasty, man. Oh, I had one come right up to me, man, like within 3 feet of my face.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I want to go back there, actually. I wrote a new song about it, my new song's going to be about that experience, actually.
Did you call in and report it? Did you write it down?
Well, yeah. What are you supposed to do? Everyone's going to think you're crazy. Everyone thinks I'm nuts. They think I was hallucinating, drunk or hallucinating or something,
Did you write it down?
Son of a bitch. That's it. If you're caught in the forest, what do? You
write it down.
So here we go. That's the end of another show, but thanks for everybody for being on. But we're ending again.
All right.
The rhinoceros song finishes off. Thanks, everybody.
Good night.
All right. Good morning, actually, over here.
Dig through the dark to find us.
Oh, there's the tweet.
And here is your host,
Wolf back, This is the real freak sound, alright, yeah. Let's go, baby, yeah. All right, we got a great show. Wow. We have got one hell of a show for tonight, everyone that's listening. You are not going to be disappointed. I'd like to introduce my panel guests. Are you there, Marcus Aurelius?
Yes, I am present.
Right on. Brother, how are you this evening?
I'm fine.
Okay, he's scaring me. Darren, are you there?
I'm here.
I think that I might not be the only Lankanthrop in the group.
No, we got our first guest.
We do. And it's going to be a scary, hopefully very scary. I like the really, really scary stories. What do you think, guys?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Marcus, you want to start with the questions?
First, let's introduce our guest, Michael V. Renner from DM Talk, hashtag DM Talk. Welcome to Monster Castle Paranormal.
Hey everybody. Hey Wolfman. Hey panel.
Thanks for calling in and everything, man. I'm all excited about this. I can't wait to hear your story.
Thanks. It's I've got a couple stories. I don't know which one you want to hear first.
The oldest.
The oldest? Okay.
Yep.
Well, this one probably goes back to when I was about 5 years old. I used to have a reoccurring dream. Anybody ever have a reoccurring dream?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just talked about it the other night. Absolutely.
Okay.
I have end of the world dreams.
Ooh, end of the world dreams? It might be prophetic, you never know.
I hope not.
Well, anyhow, I was about 5 years old, and I used to have a reoccurring dream where I would wake up, and there would be children, probably 6 to 10 children, around my bed. And they really didn't have a face, but I could see their eyes. They had really black eyes.
So they were like shadow people?
No, they were very pale, and they were wearing clothes, but they had these really dark eyes, and you really couldn't see like details of the face.
Oh my god!
And
how tall?
I mean, they were probably. See, I was about 5 years old at the time, so they were probably as tall as I was. So, maybe 3 feet, 3.5 feet.
Ugh.
And so, yeah. And the next thing that would happen was they would actually pick me up on my back, and they would carry me through my house.
Was this a dream, or was this? You think this may have actually been happening, for real?
Well, I really doubt myself now. When I was younger, I thought it was just a reoccurring dream, and when I would wake up from it, I really wasn't scared or anything like that. I would just say to myself, "Wow, that was a really weird dream." But
if I had, right off the bat, I'm getting a really strong feeling, and
I'm pretty good. My intuition that you were abducted. Right. I think you were abducted by some kind of creatures that were
better on the other side.
Well, it could be. Let me go a little bit further. I remember going through my parents' bedroom, and I could actually look to my left, and I could see them sleeping. And on the right-hand side, they would have the television still on because, they would fall asleep with the television. And I would want to say something to them, but of course, nothing would, come out of me. I couldn't say anything. I couldn't scream. I really didn't feel like screaming. I just couldn't say anything. And then they would carry me out towards the front of the house where the front door was, and that's all I would remember.
Wow.
But you'd wake up in your bed?
Yeah, I would wake up in my bed.
That's a good question.
And everything would be fine.
Okay.
You never woke up anywhere else?
I'm sorry?
You never woke up anywhere outside of your bed, like outside or somewhere really weird?
No, I never woke up outside of my bed. And this happened for weeks and weeks, for a couple months.
Well, then again, too, they seem to tend to put you right back where they got you from.
Right.
Or somewhere close by that's comforting, and
right.
So that they do try to, unless you can remember nightmares that you have and stuff, like sometimes a traumatic experience like that, when you go to sleep and you wake up, you won't remember that because your brain just shuts it down, that memory out, and that's why most people don't remember anything about UFO sightings or any of this stuff.
Right. And as I've gotten older, I've thought back on it, and I was, you would see stuff on TV or you'd read stuff about abductions, and there's just a little niggle in my mind that maybe this was an abduction. And I do have to admit, when I do see like a photo of a gray when I was younger, I would have that reaction of fear. So I've been kind of torn between, do I maybe want to see somebody to see if they can put me under hypnosis and see if something happened, but then there's this part of me that says, you know what, I really don't want to know.
What did their faces look like exactly? Do you remember?
Well, they had really pale skin. I could not see any detail of a mouth or a nose, but they did have dark eyes.
Like the Greys?
Not big like the Greys.
Oh, okay. Like these beady black eyes?
Yes.
Ugh, good.
Right.
They were wearing clothes. What
yeah, they were actually wearing clothes. The girls were wearing, like a traditional kind of, frilly dress or something like that. And the boys were wearing shorts and like a shirt tucked in. They almost looked kind of Victorian kind of dress.
That sounds like the Black-Eyed Children.
Never even thought about that.
Yeah.
With the Victorian clothes, when you said the Victorian clothes and the black eyes, like that,
right.
That's the Black-Eyed Children.
Okay. Well, this reminds me of the Whitley Strieber movie Communion, where they had children aboard the craft that they were hybrids.
Yeah, and, I've never seen that movie, but I tell you the front of that book, that alien on the front of that book, that always used to, really bother me.
Right. Whoa.
So
That skipped. What did you say, Darren? Uh-oh,
that's skipping pretty bad.
Yeah, you know why? Because we got a caller. We actually have a caller. Les W from DM Talk is trying to call in. So I'm gonna accept his friendship. Okay, and then add to group call. Here we go. Here comes Les. It should work. Hopefully, the technology. I hope he's still there, because I didn't notice it right away. Oh, well,
We're still here.
yeah.
Right? Everybody?
Okay. Anyways, what do you think about it possibly being the black-eyed children in your dream? And that's creepy.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that, I never thought about that possibility. I've heard of the black-eyed children, and I really didn't put two and two together. I'm not sure what happened. The first thing I thought was, maybe it was an abduction, and maybe the aliens put that image in my mind, and they were actually, like little aliens.
Les, are you there?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Les.
Oh, how you doing?
Okay,
Les.
yeah, we got Les. This is amazing. We got Les W from DM Talk, and we've got MVR is a what you call yourself on DM Talk, right?
yeah, you can just call me Renner if you want.
Yeah. And then
NDR.
you probably know Darren from his voice from Other Side of Midnight. He's a frequent caller. Hey, Darren.
Yep, I'm here. Does Les have a question for Renner?
Yeah.
No, I didn't have a question. I'm just repeating the name. That's all.
Okay.
Joining in the fun?
Yeah, that's it.
Did you hear what we were talking about?
No, not yet.
Okay. Okay, so Michael had a recurring dream, and he's maybe you could just recap him quickly, Michael.
Sure. When I was about 5 years old, I used to have a recurring dream. I would wake up in my bed at night, and I would have maybe 6 to 10 children that would surround my bed. They had very pale skin. I really couldn't make details out of their face, but they had dark eyes. Looked like they almost had Victorian clothes on. And they would pick me up. I wouldn't struggle. They would pick me up above their head. So obviously they must be strong children. And they would carry me on my back through my house. I remember going past my parents and the television, and very vivid. And I would get to my front door, and then that's the last I would remember. And I would wake up the next morning.
I was going to ask you something. Did you get carried right through walls, like solid objects? Do you remember that?
No, I do not remember if I did go through a wall, to be honest with you.
And
I do remember.
Was there any really?
Remember going through doorways.
Okay, was there any really bright lights, like an overwhelmingly bright light?
When I would get to the front door, right before I would, go into whatever dream I would go into, I do remember that it seemed like there were headlights out front.
Oh my goodness! I bet they brought you out front and you got beamed up, and then returned later.
As I've gotten older, you would think, as you would get older, you would put more logic into it. But as I've gotten older, I've actually gotten more skeptical about it actually being a dream. I'm actually leaning towards something must have happened because, like I said, when I do see photos of, the typical gray and stuff, I just have that feeling. Yeah, I have that feeling in my soul that this isn't a good person or being.
Hey, Renner.
Yeah.
So you say you had these when you were a kid, then at some point they stopped happening? How old are you now?
I'm 26 now.
So at some point did it stop happening?
Yes. Like I said, probably about 5 or 6, and it happened for a couple months, and then it didn't happen since. There's been no point, through that point up till now have I had the same dream.
But you have another story, don't you?
Yeah, I do have another story, but I think it's a cryptid story.
Oh,
But
I don't
who
want.
knows?
I don't want to
mean,
start on. I still want to continue with this one for a minute.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm thinking. Okay, I had a recurring dream when I was about the same age, and mine I had this fireball chasing me all the time in my dream. It was always, and I'd just be running just ahead of it, and every time that I had this dream, I would get very nauseous, and I'd want to throw up, and I'd wake up, and I'd be really sick, and I'd have to go to the toilet and try to throw up. And then my mother had a recurring dream. As we're talking about recurring dreams, she had a recurring dream of aliens coming down in a spaceship in the backyard, and then they'd come and watch her while she's sleeping throughout my whole pregnancy. And after I was born, then it stopped completely. So you're not the only one. You're not the
Tell
only
us what
one.
you were born with.
I was born with a triangular scar on the back of my calf, straight up and down an equilateral triangle. The skin stayed white there for years and years and years.
Is it still there now?
It's barely. You can barely see it now. It's finally. It's kind of faded out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Have you ever went to a doctor to have it examined?
No, never thought of that till just hasn't been that long since I've been deeply into the paranormal, and I just wouldn't have thought of that back then. Or now it's even hard to tell which leg it's on. Like maybe there's an implant in there, but how the hell are you born with a scar? Unless somebody told me before, the forceps might have pinched you and cut you. I can't see that happening.
That shows you on the head anyway.
Yeah, even if something like that happens, it wouldn't be a scar when it came out. It would be a wound. So.
Yeah, no, it looked like, it really does look like it looked like scar tissue. You know how scar tissue stays white, like it doesn't tan in the sun. And it was kind of a little bit bumped up over top of the other skin around it. Perfect.
It's shiny?
Yeah, in a perfect triangle shape.
That's cool.
I always thought it was really strange. My mom said it was my birthmark, and I thought, I've never seen anyone with a white triangle for a birthmark. That's just weird.
Yeah, it might be worth getting checked out. You never know. You might have a microchip in there or something. Tracking system.
Maybe Marcus can check it out for you. Put you on one of those machines next to the...
Yeah, you were going to send us a picture, right?
Well, you see,
you need pictures.
If I can, I think I would have to, probably go to one of them specialized doctors, I don't even know if there is anymore that checks for implants and shit. And they would have to probably check out both legs, because I can't even remember anymore which leg it was. And I look at it and I seem to think it's here and or there, but I'm really not sure actually anymore which leg it is. Because after it faded away, I didn't really think about it too much until later when I heard my mom talking about these recurring dreams of the aliens, and then I had all those other experiences that I've talked about at the family farm, where I was actually chased by a big huge fireball for real.
Oh.
After all those dreams, it happened for real.
Yeah, and it was shooting down these beams of energy at the Earth, just like something out of Star Trek.
You gotta finish it now. You started it. We have people that need to know the rest of the story.
Well, okay, I jumped a middle part because there was actually another time where this fireball appeared in real life, and it actually we heard a rumbling sound. The whole house was shaken, and everyone stayed asleep except my mother and I. We ended up popping our heads into the hallway in between all the bedrooms and there was five kids in my family back then. I think I must have been about 14, and this big fireball came just right through the walls, right down the hallway and out the back thing, and it looked identical to the thing that was in my dreams. And it made me sick to my stomach again, too. But I never had seen it for years. But now it wasn't in my dream. It was actually manifesting right in front of me and my mom.
Did anyone else see it? Just you two?
Just us two. Nobody else woke up.
Oh, my goodness. Did it make a loud noise?
A low rumbling sound that made you ill to the stomach.
Did your mom get sick, too?
Not like as much as I did. But she sure didn't like it. Like, we were upset and we talked about it for a while. We stayed up. I don't think we even slept the rest of the night. But
I was going to ask, did the fireball give off any heat?
No.
Or did it just look like a fireball?
Just looked like a fireball. There was no heat.
How fast did it go?
Very slowly. Just rolling slowly, just kind of just going, like, almost I felt like it's just showing itself, and here I am. I'm the sick thing from your dream, and here I am for real.
Oh, man. And so you think it moved with, intelligence? Did it seem like it was coming towards you?
It was definitely an entity. It was some sort of entity. It had sentience for sure, but I don't really think it really cared what I was doing or what anyone was doing. It just it was doing its own thing, and I'm going to go right through here, you know.
I got you. So it was just kind of passing through, and you just happened to be there.
Yeah, but I don't know about just happening. I think it was showing itself. But it really wasn't paying attention to me, but it did show itself to us on purpose.
Gotcha. That's freaky.
Yeah, as it went through, though, it didn't, I didn't feel like it stopped and looked at us or anything. It just went right through. I think it took a lot of...
passing through.
I have a feeling it took a lot of energy for it to manifest itself physically like that. So that we actually saw it in our, I don't know.
I wonder why you got sick. I wonder if it was radiation or something. Did you feel better the next day?
Not really. I was sick. I was sick for weeks when that was happening, and it kind of makes me think that was a possible abduction time too when I had those dreams. Just like Michael's experience, but a little different.
Michael, did you get sick?
No, I never really had any adverse effects whatsoever after my dream. I would wake up, and I would say, "Wow, I had that dream again," and I would go about my day. And I would tell my parents. I would actually ask them if they remember me being carried by their bed at night, and they said no. It was just a dream. But it was just so vivid. I could almost remember what was on the television when I was going by, because they always used to fall asleep with the television on.
Yeah, it's too bad they didn't wake up just once.
Yeah.
Mom, look!
How about you?
My children carried me out to the craft.
Les,
Isn't that the way it always goes?
I was going to ask you, Les, have you ever had a recurring dream?
You know what? No. I never had any recurrent dreams. I never had any kind of, I've never even seen any kind of, anything in the sky. So I'm one of those people who have, I've always been interested in it, but I've never seen or experienced anything. So, it's a boring life for me, I guess, right?
No, you could be a lucky one.
That's exactly what I was just going to say.
But it's interesting. I mean, what you guys talk about, and I always kind of wonder whether it runs in a family. I mean, we've heard all these stories for a long time, right? And you hear of that other family members also have experiences like this, and I wondered if no one else in your family has anything similar, right?
I've never really asked. I mean, that's something, now that I'm older, maybe I should sit down and just say, hey, I remember this dream. I just want to see if there's any history here. Maybe it's something I could ask and maybe get back to you guys with the answer.
Would they be, open? I mean, there's some people just, and I've met people who've seen crafts and things, and they've seen it with other people who do not want to ever admit they saw anything, and would these family members be, open to talking about something like that, or you think they might be just sort of keep it to themselves?
I believe my mother and father would be open.
Yeah.
Probably not my sister, which which I don't know. I'll put it to the test because she obviously was living in the house at the same time, so maybe she remembers something. I never even thought about it. I'll have to do that and get back with you guys.
Now, so you haven't had any like physical effects since then. I know one friend, his wife had experiences like that, and she's all her life she's had a lot of migraine headaches to where she couldn't work or anything like that. You haven't had any physical effects in that way?
Well, I do get migraines, but not to. I don't think anything to get concerned about. I might get maybe 1 or 2 a year.
Yeah,
it isn't something that's reoccurring.
Right.
So. Other than that, I've really had no adverse effects to it, except for, it's just very vivid in my mind, and it just seems very weird to me that I would have these reoccurring dreams that would just kind of stop. And then as I've gotten older, with hearing the abduction stories and seeing similar things on TV and reading it, it just kind of puts that little bit of mystery in my mind that maybe something did happen here.
Marcus.
So
Marcus, can I just interject here? I was wondering, Marcus, have you got anything that you could poke holes into here?
Not really. I think he should watch the Communion movie, though. I just watched it recently.
Yeah.
And it sounds very similar to what he's describing, actually.
When you say that, it's very unnerving. When you say that,
can you tell us a little about the? I haven't seen Communion either.
Can
you tell us about it?
Well, Whitley is staying in a country cabin with his friends and his wife and kids, and at night there's a craft comes, and he doesn't realize it right away, but through regression, he remembers the story of being carried away by these. They were like little blue guys, and with hooded kind of smocks, and they kind of reported to the Greys. But later on in the craft, he meets these children that were. It looks to be suggesting that they were kind of making their own hybrids that looked like children. So.
Wow.
The funny thing about dreams is usually you forget them right away, and if you're remembering stuff from childhood. It kind of begs the question, there's something more to it.
Right. And, I could understand if I had, a really horrible, scary dream where, a monster came in and ate my face off or something like that. But, this was just a dream, just being picked up by children and being carried. I mean, I guess that can be scary. But like I said, when I was a kid, when I would have those dreams and I would wake up, I really didn't have that fear in me of having the dream. So it was just...
How'd they pick you up? Do they pick you up like with their arms? Like your arms and your legs and your head, or walked you out the door, or did you have a sheet underneath you? Or?
No, what they would do is they would slide their hands under my body, and they would pick me up on my back, and they would hold me over their head.
Oh, like way up high.
Right, yes, way up high. Kind of like if somebody's, getting ready to throw you out of a bar or something like that.
Or carrying,
throw you out the front door and right up into the
carrying a dead body. It kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Almost like a funeral procession. It could just be a... that's a freaky dream, man.
Bring out your dead.
Yeah, that's another thing I didn't say, but when they would carry me, you know how you'd kind of feel your weight on their hands. I honestly felt weightless. I felt like I was just kind of gliding with their hands.
Weird.
That's
how many times did they do this? Assuming it's not a dream. Any idea?
Well, for a while there, I would have the dream probably 3 or 4 times a week.
Oh yeah.
And I had it for a couple months, and I'd have little breaks in between, but then I would have the dream again, and it would start over again, and then one day I just didn't have it anymore.
Did it get less and less scary? Was it like, okay, here we go again, guys?
No, Les is on the show. He's not scary.
It's a matter of opinion, and it's scary to some people.
The very first time I wasn't even scared, but now that you say it, probably the 15th or 16th time that it happened, I did have that kind of state of mind where, oh, here we go again. They're going to lift me up. Oh, they're going to take me through all these rooms, past my parents, down to the front door. I just kind of knew what was going on.
And were there different amounts of children, black-eyed children, taking you, or were there different, like more girls than guys, or was it always the same ones at the same place?
It was the same amount, and it was always guy, girl, guy, girl, guy, girl, like that. They were always like in line, like that.
Wow. So you could differentiate between male and female.
Yes, only by their clothing, though.
Oh. Well, I don't want to scare you, but this might start happening again at some point, because like even in Whitley Strieber's case, didn't he? Okay, there's Communion where he had the classic, when he was an adult, he had these this happened to him. But then I think later on in his story, after he's doing more research and more regressions, whatever it was, that he I think he realized that he also has some of these experiences when he was a kid too. So
okay.
Well, you might be back with a fresh story later on, huh?
It could be. You'll be the first people that I call.
All right.
Other than the police, probably.
Well, I gotta say something.
Exclusive on the Wolfman.
I gotta give you something on that one, because I'm almost 50, and they came back. That fireball came back the one time when I first it was always when I was about your age. You were saying about 5 years old, and then probably till I was about 9 or 10, and then then it stopped. Then I never seen. Then I saw it for real when I was about 14 or 16, around then. And another time around that same time, when I was about 14 or 16, my bed actually lifted off the ground while I was laying in it and was levitating in the room.
Let's say that again. Your dad was there?
No, my bed.
Oh, your bed.
My bed, yeah.
I thought you said your dad.
No, my bed just started lifting, like it lifted off the floor while I was trying to go to sleep, and then I realized that the ceiling was only about 6 inches from my face.
Wow.
And the light was right there. Like, holy shit, I could touch the ceiling with my hand. And then once I realized what was going on, I looked around, I panicked, and the bed dropped down and hit the floor really hard. And
so, Wolf, let me ask you this. Speculate, what do you think, in your case, what do you think it was? What do you think's going on?
I almost think that was the classic, I think that might have been my own mind doing it. Just like, what do you call that?
Out-of-body experience?
No,
like telekinesis?
No, what do you call that? Where it's not a haunting, but a
poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
Possessed.
Yeah, poltergeist. Which
really?
Yeah, usually happens with females in and around puberty, but it can happen with male kids in and around puberty too, where you'll actually levitate objects and do stuff like that, but it's all your own mind doing it.
Wolfman, did you get hurt when it fell?
Well, it startled the shit out of me, and it actually woke up my mother, and she actually came in the room and said, "What the hell are you doing in here?" It sounded like your bed just you lifted up your bed and then threw it down on the floor.
Oh, so she heard the noise.
Yeah.
She didn't. Okay. Yeah. She didn't see the action going on.
No, I don't think she saw it. No, but I did scream. I was screaming.
Yeah. Did you tell her what happened?
Yeah, I said, yeah, that's what just happened. My bed was up near the ceiling, and then it just came down. I didn't do it, Mom. I said, I don't know what happened. I don't know what. That was weird.
And what'd she say?
Yeah.
Well, she'd seen enough weird shit with me already by this point in our lives. Like, we had actually had to do an exorcism on my grandmother's house, and we went through a lot of things, so.
She just said, yeah, okay, all right, go to sleep.
Yeah, basically that's what it was. She said, well, I hope it doesn't do it again. Just try to get some sleep. You got to go to school in the morning, so,
We'll bring out the holy salt tomorrow.
Yeah, we actually had to do it there, too. And it was a haunted dresser and a bunch of other things happening there. This dresser had a weird mirror, and it used to go cloudy once in a while. You'd see faces behind you in it. It was pretty scary. And then once in a while the mirror would just go clear, and it would have perfect reflection. And then another
this is your dresser.
Yeah, and she found this dresser. Her mother had found it. It was passed down from my grandmother to my mother, and she gave it to me. But she doesn't really know where it came from because it was up top in one of the barns when my grandmother actually bought the farms like long time ago. And it was.
You guys just get rid of the thing? I mean, I would.
Well, it's pretty antique, so I don't know. I think she still has it.
Yeah, but if there's such freaky stuff going on, I don't care how old it is. I'd be like, I'd park that thing down the street. It's like, let's just see what happens for a while,
Well, I just kept doing like exorcisms with salt in and around the area, and finally it stopped.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Well, that works out.
Yeah.
What about the grandfather clock?
Oh, the grandfather clock is actually something new that's here, and we're getting off topic here, though, because
yes, we are.
Now I got to hear the grandfather clock story here too. I mean.
Okay. Well, that has a shadow person that's connected to the clock, and it's my wife's clock. She had it from before I met her, and it has an inscription inside it, like it was in memory of this person.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember the name. I can go read it right now. It's in it, but once in a while you'll see like the shadow person hanging around that clock, and I think they're trying to get it going because the gears are all messed up and it's not working right. And I swear this spirit is trying to make that clock work.
So I mean, did you ever consider having these? I don't know what you call them, but the Ghostbuster type of people come out and a medium coming out and chasing them out of your house or anything like that? I mean, ever considering anything like that or no?
Well, see, like around here, I'm the guy that people call. I've sort of taken the role of doing that same sort of thing. Like when kids can't sleep at night, I'll go to their house and I'll check it out, and I'll throw holy salt all around everything and chase the demons away so the kids can sleep. So I just do it myself.
How many times have you done that?
Well, the one time we had the Catholic Church get involved when I was, I think I was only about 7 years or 8 years old, and I asked the priest if I could go around with him, and he taught me how to do it.
Really?
So how many houses have you been asked to go get rid of the demons and stuff?
Probably about 10.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
In the last, I'd say, 5 years. 2 houses, yeah. People find out that you can do that, then, there's not many people that can do that.
What's your success rate?
Well,
that's a good question.
Some of them scare the shit out of me, and I don't even want to deal with it, to tell you the truth. But I'll try it, you know what I mean? And I would say I have a pretty good, like I'd say 75%, but there's a few of them that are just beyond me. If it's a real heavy-duty demonic spirit, I don't really, you know what I mean? If I don't feel comfortable dealing with it, then I just tell them, you might have to get an actual priest to do this one.
An old priest and a young priest.
You live in Canada?
Yeah.
So, I mean, is it an old area? I mean,
well, I've moved all over Ontario, so it's always something different.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put a song on. Our show's coming to a close here. We're going to have to pick it up on the other side. We'll just start another song, but thank you, everyone, for coming on. And I think we'll just go ahead and start another show after this one ends. But there's going to be a song and then a new intro and a new show is going to start. So we'll be back in a little while. Thanks, everyone. Have a break. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, I guess, eh?
All right. Thanks.
And I again thank you for everyone calling in. And this was a lot of fun. But we're gonna. Yeah, about 1 minute left, so we're gonna have to sign out and sign back in. See you guys next time on the Monster Castle Paranormal Show.
Yeah. My kids have no problem with it.
If I'm not mistaken, we've gone live again.
Oh, my dog's joining the... We should take a caller. Try to talk one of the 4 people listening to call in.
Twitter.
Welcome to the Monster Castle Radio Show. It's playing the intro. For the extreme paranormal listener. And here is your host, the Wolfman, Mike. Welcome to the Monster Castle. I can hear some growling. Oh, wow. We got some monsters in the house. We got monsters. Oh my god. This is pretty scary in here tonight, man. This is one of the scariest nights ever. I got a lot of guests with me here. We got Darren from you might have heard him on The Other Side of Midnight. He's a frequent caller. Are you there, Darren?
I'm here, and my dog, he hears you making monster sounds. He doesn't like it.
Oh, good. I like that. That's good. I could do a lot more than that. But right now we're going to introduce. We got Marcus Alrightius. Are you there, buddy?
Yep, I'm right here.
Oh, our levels are going a bit too high. Well, and I think we got Jeff D from DM Talk as well. Are you there?
I'm here.
Right on.
Hey, I thought the dog barking was part of
the intro.
I thought that was you. That's really good.
I'm not sure what we're going to talk about. We got whatever we want. What do you guys want to talk about?
Well, I came up with the topic last time. Jeff, do you have a good topic?
Oh, I've got a lot of topics. But the problem is, which one do I, want to talk about right now, and not piss off anyone?
Well, I wouldn't worry about that. That's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah, we always piss everyone.
No matter what I say.
Have you guys heard about these giants they found in Pennsylvania? The Bradford giants or whatever. They found these skeletons. I guess it was in the late 1800s.
Where the mounds are there?
Yeah, I think it's northwestern Pennsylvania. Okay, so it's they dug up 8-foot giant skeletons, and they had horns on their skulls.
Oh, I heard about that one. Yeah, horns on their skulls. I heard about that.
Yeah, look it up. It's Bradford horned.
They're probably sent to the Smithsonian and disappeared.
Yeah, exactly what happened.
They didn't want to scare the religious folks.
Yeah, it's in Horned Nephilim Skeleton Valley of Giants a couple years ago.
That's exactly right.
And this is
9 miles northwest of Scranton.
Yeah, this is where we used to go camping all the time too, and we didn't really know about it then. But it kind of makes you wonder, you're out in the middle of nowhere, what it would have been like if, you hear a noise.
Did they?
Crickets and stuff, and then all of a sudden footsteps, and there's a 8-foot horned giant outside your tent.
Said they were buried around 1200 AD.
Yeah.
And they were buried. So, that's not that long ago.
Right.
No.
Big picture. That's just I traced my ancestors back to 1250, so 1200 isn't too far.
Yeah, exactly.
Do they still have the horns in the skulls? Or are they falling off?
No, it's like it's part. I see a picture here. It's like part of the skull. It's like it's part of the skull. The horn.
Yeah.
Like a rhino horn?
No, they're two. It just looks like devil horns. I remember the picture.
Oh
too.
God, devil horns?
Yeah, just like two little.
Like a goat?
Monster. It is a monster. Yeah, it's crazy, and they have double rowed teeth. Some of these skulls, 2 rows of teeth, and they do have fangs on some, like canines.
Oh my God,
Yeah, and
that's really creepy.
they don't have, their skull doesn't have one of our suture marks. It's missing some of those. It's, you know, like when you're born and those, what are they called? Suturing? In your skull? Those, there's a cross lines. Anyways, they don't have that, so they're not human.
And they're supposed to be over 7 feet tall.
Yeah, they lived here before us, I think, or they still actually no, they're still here. Maybe, yeah, the goat man thing. That's maybe they're still around, man, because people see this thing. In the 60s, there was all those sightings with Goat Man, and he had an axe, and he chased kids out of these parks where they'd park at night to go at Lover's Lane or whatever, at the end of nowhere, desolate spots. And they'd park and to make out, and this Goat Man was, I don't remember the area. It might have been Pennsylvania. I don't know.
It's probably an Amish guy wanting to spook him.
Oh, it was a goat man, like over, they said, like 7 or 8 feet tall, and he had horns, and he carried a big axe.
Do you see the goat man in the tunnel ceremony?
Oh yeah, that's true. There was one.
That thing is freaky. Who were those people? Did you guys see that? You saw the video, right? You did?
I did.
I have not.
Oh, it's crazy. That Switzerland tunnel that opened. They only had a couple hundred people. Then they had these just crazy dancers, this $2 million dance that they paid for the opening ceremony or whatever. It's just like a bunch of nude people and this demonic baby and this goat man. It's just the creepiest thing you ever seen for a tunnel opening.
Yeah, it was,
they invite.
yeah. Just,
I mean, I heard about the tunnel company. I didn't hear about that.
it was really creepy.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like the smoke coming out of it and everything, and all kinds of weird creatures.
You gotta see the video. It's creepy. And for how small the crowd is, it's just weird. And you wonder who was invited, you know. Who are these people?
They just kept coming out and with strange costumes on, like Cirque du Soleil kind of shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Like they look. Some of the costumes were amazing. What they did with them, and it actually looked like creatures that were, you know. I can't remember.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it was something that should have been for like a whole bunch of people, not just a few hundred of the Bohemian Grove people or whoever. I don't know who was there.
I keep hearing like a clapping in the background, like somebody clapping. You guys hear that? Like
Yeah, I do hear that.
one person clapping. It sounds like it's freaking me right out. Who the
One
hell?
hand clapping?
Yeah, like we need a lot more clapping than that.
I hear one hand clapping.
Yeah, one hand
I don't hear
clapping.
anything.
Yeah, we need a lot more clapping. We need thunder strikes. Yeah, I got some thunder. You guys can't hear it, but I just put some thunder on.
Does oh, go ahead. I was gonna. Does RCH? Does he still like bump his mic all the time? I haven't heard him in a while.
He doesn't bump his mic as much. He types a lot, It's usually typing to me or other people. I've heard him type and then me get a message from him before on the air. It's pretty funny.
He's like, yeah, he's always, saying there's noise, and he's like, I don't know what it is. Sounds like he's just bumping his mic.
He's figuring it out.
He's got some. He's real. I mean, I like some of the questions he asked, and he's got some really good guests.
I love it. I love his show.
He's great. I know some people, don't like him. But...
Oh, I'm sure. Well, yeah. I just like the hope that he brings, and I just love ancient archaeology, and you're talking about the job.
Yeah, he's scientific, but he throws a little bit of his own opinion in there too. But
and he speculates a lot.
He does.
And scientists never do that. That's what's so awesome.
Yeah, he like does a combination of the two, and just somehow
he's like a mad scientist. That's what I like about him.
He is.
He's like a mad scientist. If there was something that he could experiment with, he'll do it. I told him one of the things that I know about from Patrick Flanagan. A buddy of mine knew Patrick Flanagan and got to know him actually by trying to. And his mother was involved in some group, experimental stuff. And so he got in touch with him, and apparently he got to see some crazy invention from somebody that was like a singularity, like a small sun or a black hole type of singularity that they had contained inside of some sort of machine, and it became sentient, and it would talk to you telepathically and tell you could have whatever you want. Just put your hand inside and pull out what you're thinking, and you could pull out whatever you were thinking of. Like the guy experimented with it. He put his hand inside the thing and pulled an orange out. He said, I'm going to get an orange. Who gets an orange out of it? That thing was crazy, what he was telling me. I don't know why he'd lie about something or make something like that up, but I know that he went to these seminars with Patrick Flanagan, and he
sounds
said,
like Star Trek.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
replicator, right?
Yeah, for food.
This guy would have been awesome to have on a show, but he actually passed away, my buddy Julio, a couple of years ago. Cancer. Got him.
What kind of cancer?
I really don't know, actually, that detail. He was right into all this stuff, health, food, and everything like that. I don't know, and antioxidants. He was crazy with it. Took so many of these supplements. I'm unsure if that's what did him in, was doing all these weird supplements, really.
I knew a guy that was a distance runner, and he took all supplements. He died at 42. Cancer.
Really?
All he did was... Yeah. I was watching a show today about toxins in the body, though. It's interesting. I mean, they really do build up. You know, the guy that did Super Size Me, his show?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went on a program to get rid of the toxins or lower the toxins in his body. Sure enough, man, he lowered quite a few of them, just, eating very clean. A lot of it's just from the food that we eat more than the environment. I'd say 80 to 90% is the food, and then the rest is like just chemicals around the house, stuff like that. But it gets into your body. It really does. Who knows? Maybe they do cause cancer.
I'm just going to do it like, great grandpa did. He lived to 80 something, and he just smoked and drank his whole life and chewed tobacco too.
Yeah, that happens. I think a lot of it's just worrying. A lot of people that are health conscious a lot of them are atheists. A lot of really healthy, super health people just want to live a long time because they think this is all we got, And I think they're a little bit more stressed out too. And I think stress is the killer, I think. But who knows? What do you guys think?
It's one of the definitely that is probably the number one thing, and not addressing problems in your body. This little things like muscle aches and pains. You got to have someone there to massage you out every day and get your stress out. That's true.
Stressful jobs. I mean, it seems like it'd be interesting to see I'm sure there's plenty of studies about them, but I know doctors don't live very long, and they're pretty healthy usually as a group.
Yeah, some of them.
Especially when they get thrown off top-story buildings. Yeah, and then
was that something I missed in the news or something?
or bankers, they all flying off buildings. All the bankers are jumping. I heard about a lot of doctors that commit suicide too, or kill themselves with alcohol and other drugs. But bankers like to jump off buildings, I know.
I have a friend that was the 39th assisted suicide in Oregon. He was had cancer of the spine. He was in agony, and I was happy for him. He didn't have to go through what was on his plate in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Who else?
He just said goodbye to his family and told him he loved them, and closed his eyes, and he's out of his pain.
I just remembered when I was thinking about doctors. It's the holistic doctors that are disappearing. Apparently, they're getting wiped out. They're disappearing or getting murdered. All kinds of apparently holistic doctors.
Yeah, they're cutting in on their business. Did you hear about all these DNC people that have been killed?
What exactly is DNC for the Canadian people here? I don't know what that is.
The Democratic National Convention people or committee? What is it? But they're
Convention, but the gas and yep.
Yeah, there's one guy that died, and Julian Assange said he'd give $20,000 reward for anything, any information about his death. And he kind of hinted that he was the one that gave him the information about the emails. It wasn't the Russians.
Yeah, it's only the people that are, have something to give up or something to get someone out of trouble that's dying. It's not.
2 days ago, there was an explosion and killed another person that was kind of involved, I guess.
Wow.
There's a lot of dead people around the Clintons, that's for sure. I wonder if it's just that they know so many people, but I find that hard to believe. I mean, I know thousands of people, and I don't know anyone that's been murdered. And they have like 48 and counting. The guy that wrote the book, Body Count, he died like 2 weeks ago. He got found dead on top of a mountain. He's the one that wrote the book about all the dead bodies about the Clintons.
Wow.
How convenient.
Oh. Okay, guys, I think we should take a washroom break or whatever you want to do. I'm going to put a song on, and everybody just mute your mics, and we're going to take a little break, okay?
Okay.
Just for a second here. Hello. Check. Is it still, you guys back? Hello?
I'm here.
I'm here.
Yeah, I think I got back late after the song ended. Let's see. Yeah. Anyway, we're back on, and hey, what were we talking about? When we first earlier this evening, we were talking about the moon impact, where they.
Oh yeah, when they had that 2-ton kinetic impact on the moon there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put it into an icy crater.
That was my topic for tonight. I forgot. That was my topic. It's yeah. They threw and I thought it was like an explosive warhead, but no, it was a kinetic.
Yeah,
weapon.
It just smashed into the ice.
So like a big bullet, basically. Yeah, like a big heavy chunk of lead or something. I don't know what they used.
It was.
Well, they used the spaceship.
They probably used gold.
They used the spaceship, didn't they? The one that they were done with, and then they just aimed it. I don't know.
No, that's
what they
a
did.
different
Yeah, it was
thing.
part of the payload.
Yeah, and then they just dumped it into the iciest crater they could find to see what would happen. See how much ice was in there. It was part of a crater that didn't see the sun ever.
Exactly.
And so, yeah. And they got a lot. I think they got a lot of data from it. Of course, they haven't really shared much with it. I can't remember. Maybe they did.
They broke a treaty. They broke the Outer Space Treaty when they did that.
Oh, no kidding. Because they attacked another planet?
Basically, yeah. There's a treaty that was dates back to 1967. Clearly states that international law applies beyond the atmosphere. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I know they've done that twice on the moon. They did it another time, too. And they knew that it rang like a bell for like 3 or 4 minutes afterwards.
Yeah.
And Richard thinks that shows that it's either hollow or artificial or something.
I kind of have to agree with him. I've always thought the moon is really strange, and I don't think it's natural. And especially that it looks the same size to your eye. And just the fact that we can have eclipses and the sun and the moon being so close, almost they look identical size to our perspective here on Earth. It just seems like that is just too much of a coincidence. The odds of that happening is just crazy.
And then was it the diameter and the speed are the exact same ratios or something like that?
Yeah.
That one guest, there's just all these amazing things about the moon.
Yeah.
It's like they have the exact same size to...
I noticed that myself when I was a kid. I thought that was weird. Why would the moon be the same size as the sun? That's impossible. I just thought that's freaking impossible. Like, what is this, some kind of a magical planet? Like, that just can't be real. It doesn't make any sense.
I know, it covers up the sun almost perfectly. Not quite, but almost. And then you can just see the corona of the sun during an eclipse. It is amazing. Yeah, and the all the hexagon craters that supposedly happen naturally. I don't know how that would happen. And octagonal craters.
Oh yeah, that octagonal crater, yeah. And Marcus, didn't you say that you found some stuff just on using Google? Are you there, Marcus? Did we lose him? Oh, maybe he's not there. That's strange.
Is Jeff still there?
Jeff, you there?
Here. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
It's showing that he's still there. Oh well.
I'm here.
Okay.
Here I am.
Hey, did you want to tell us about what those photos that you got, or not photos, but the stuff you found about the backside of the moon.
Oh, okay. Let's see. If you look at my Twitter page, the coordinates are actually on my
Is it on Google Moon?
Yeah, on Google Moon, right? It's the coordinates, yeah, on the backside. And the strange thing about Google Moon is that when you go to the backside, at least for me, there's only like one section that actually shows any sort of contrast or detail, and that's around the crater Komarov.
What's it called?
It's a Russian name, Komarov, K-O-M.
Okay.
A-R-O-V, and it's near the ocean of Moscow, I guess. Mare Moskowitz. Moskowitz. I don't have it open at the moment, but
I found something on there once. I marked it on there. It's crazy looking. I just marked it as a moon base on my Google Moon. It's right on the front side, though, kind of down in the middle. I don't know what it is.
Was it on the backside?
No, it's on the front, right in the front.
By the way, that weapon that NASA released onto the moon was called a Centaur. That's what they call it, and it's a kinetic weapon.
Wow.
And that was in 2009, June 18th.
Yeah,
it was June 18th, and it was part of the lunar reconnaissance orbiter mission.
Yeah, that's about the time they found out there was water all over the moon.
And that's what it was supposed to be actually researching. To explore the presence of water ice.
Create water naturally, make H2O on the surface, so there's moisture everywhere now.
Yeah, they found water there was ice on the surface of the moon. So actually, what about maybe all the crystal stuff that Hoagland's been seeing is just ice buildup?
7 miles high?
Who knows? Maybe that's just because of the gravity. It does different things there.
With the perfect shadow.
Oh yeah. Well, ice does just when ice freezes, it can make geometric sort of designs.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they'd last.
But you know what else?
7 miles high.
Yeah, you never know, because they say actually when water can have actually somebody's mood can affect the way water freezes. The patterns it makes, people's thinking, the way they think, if they're a negative or positive person or whatever. You're thinking happy things, it makes nice design. You're thinking shit, it makes a crappy design.
What about the titanium domes?
Yeah, I'm just.
They found 21% titanium in circular patterns all over the certain parts of the moon there.
How do they know it's titanium?
Titanium's rare on Earth, fairly rare.
So who found this? Did they go right up to it, or how do they know it's titanium?
Originally, they found it back in the day. They found a bunch of titanium in the moon samples. Really high amount. It really surprised them all. But then, I think 2 years ago, they did a titanium analysis with a new chip, and you can find it on there. They call them domes of titanium. NASA calls them domes.
Wow.
And they're circular, and they're all over the moon. It's fascinating.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it used to be a base, maybe?
Well, yeah. They probably were like what Richard thinks. He thought they were titanium domes with glass in them. Glass is stronger than steel when it's in space, and there's no oxygen. and it's all over up there. So that'd be like the perfect thing to make to perfect substance to use if you were building something up there. There's no earthquakes. About the only thing you have to worry about is meteor strikes.
Yeah.
And if you built it with a grid, you know, or several domes where you can escape, who knows?
So
I like to think they were up there.
So Darren, have you ever seen a UFO or what, something weird, or a ghost or anything?
I saw something weird the other night when I was out there. I was telling you about it earlier. I think it was just a satellite, but boy, it was bright. It was just a bright flash, and then it went away, and then a bright flash, and it was just following a trajectory. And like a really bright flash, like brighter than, you know, it's like the sun just reflecting off a flat surface. That's what it looked like. And I thought that was amazing. And I also saw about 12 big fireballs, which is unusual. But one of them was cool. It skipped. Have you ever seen a meteor skip across the sky?
Yeah.
Like a rock?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I have seen that, which is cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. But no, I've never seen a UFO. Not really. Just a space station. I don't know if I'd want to.
Oh,
It'd
the
probably
thing
freak
I
me
saw,
out.
man, nobody would want to see it. It scared the shit out of me, I'll tell you. I actually had
know.
to hide in a ditch and I pulled branches over top of me. I was so scared. And when the
How
thing
many
went,
have you seen?
countless, but this one was very close. This one was a close encounter. It was shooting like these beams down on the ground and coming towards me. And my brother took off. And
In a car or running?
he was on a bicycle. It was only his farm was only down the road, so it was about half a mile or something down the road. He took off on his bicycle, and I shut my irrigation tractor pump off, and then the thing was and I was running for the house, but then I saw it coming, and I just ran into a ditch and pulled stuff over top of me.
Did you still look at it, or did you just hide? Like a kid
I was
under the
watching.
blankets?
I was watching like a kid through the blankets, exactly. But I couldn't see much from down there. I could just see the light.
Uh-huh. And how long was it? How long were you down there?
That's where I had a memory loss. After I did that, I don't really remember what happened. And then I was back at the house telling my wife about it.
That's spooky.
Really don't know what happened there. I can't remember.
How long-
I can only remember up to then. And then after that, I don't really remember until I went to the house, told my wife about it. And then I went to my brother's house in the morning and told him about it. He didn't remember anything until I told him, and then he said, "Oh my God, I would have never remembered that if you didn't tell me."
Weird. Does he remember riding home?
No.
So maybe
that's
they
the
got in
thing
too.
He doesn't remember hardly any of it either, except what I told him, and then he started to get memories back of it.
But no memories of being anywhere besides the ditch or on his bike?
No, well, he remembers seeing the thing now and seeing the energy beams coming down to the earth. It looked like a ray, like a blue ray beam, like almost like a tractor beam on Star Trek.
It sounds like a Travis Walton's story.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's a lot like his. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk to him one time.
You ever thought about getting hypnotized?
Yeah, I
Rick
thought
Ross?
about that. Yeah. I wonder what would come out of that.
I don't know. It might be interesting.
Well, that's the thing. That's what got me into all this. Once after that happened to me, right? And I started thinking differently.
And how old were you?
About, see, it was 2001, I think, 2000. So, 30. I was about 30 or something like that. 35. 35, yeah.
Yeah, jeez. That's
Yeah,
scary.
I'd be 35.
I wouldn't like that.
I was 35,
Yep.
yeah.
Was that the first one?
No, I seen a lot of UFOs and stuff before that. That was the one that was the closest encounter.
And the scariest one, besides the ball.
Everything else I saw, there was the glowing orb thing came after that, which was even a closer encounter. It was right in front of me, like 2 feet away.
And you were the only witness for that one?
Yeah. And
that's with the staff?
Yeah. This glowing orb came in. There was the same area. It was the same field on the farm. The same field. And that's
you ever crop circle on that farm?
See, I thought about it later. We saw some little orbs come off the big orb and just branch out and go places off that thing. And it was, I think, a year later that I saw that little orb. So it was years later. So I still think that the things that thing dropped off, I think they're still around there.
So maybe the thing that they dropped off when you saw it, it was the same thing that came up.
Yeah, that came up to me. I think it might be related because it's in that field, and I saw the things come off of it. So maybe it went there. Maybe it dropped probes or something, some kind of little entities or something. I don't know.
Was that your family farm?
Yeah.
Did they ever see anything in that field besides you?
Well, my brother sees all kinds of crap in the sky, but nobody else has seen the orbs, but they've seen a lot of paranormal activity, like, because there's a little cemetery there that's haunted. So there's a lot of that. It's strange that high UFO, and also high paranormal, like ghosts, in the same place, and I've heard this before.
Should get some EVP people to go out there.
Actually, I'm working on that, but wow, we're coming to the end of the show already here, but we got 6 minutes left. Yeah, actually, Greg Newkirk from Planet Weird, he's wanted to come out there, so I still haven't hooked it up with a time and when we're going to do that. But
is that why you left? And you're not a farmer anymore?
No, just the tobacco industry just pretty much died out there. So,
okay.
There was no money left.
Are they growing something new, or are they still chugging away at tobacco?
No, we don't do tobacco anymore. They just do cover crops now, like soybeans, corn, wheat, and stuff like that. Just easy stuff.
Well, that's a great story.
Yeah,
that's why you're our leader here.
That's what got me into this. Okay, does anybody want anything to say before we got 5 minutes left? So, anybody want to plug something before I put a song on?
I got those pictures from the crater. I'm gonna send them out to you guys over Skype here.
Oh, there was that sighting I just had a little while ago. 3 objects coming over of my house, and I took a picture of one of them, and then Marcus, you blew it up.
Oh, right, yeah.
So we got that too. We could post that picture of the.
I'll try to find my moon base and take a picture of it or show you the coordinates.
Oh, okay.
Check it out. All right.
So where are we going to post this stuff?
I'll just send it to you on Skype, and then you can post whatever you want.
I'm not sure if I could post it on my Spreaker channel. I'll try to do that, and then maybe just post it on Twitter too.
Okay, there's one. Which one did I send?
I'm going to need to make a website yet, and then we'll have a spot to post shit. But I'm going to put a song on now, guys, and thank everyone for being on again. I can't believe we did 2 shows tonight. That was amazing.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I don't remember eating that.
Oh, everybody wants that.
Pokemon. I don't know.
Pokemon Chat.
Welcome to the Monster Castle Radio Show. For the extreme paranormal listener. And here is your host, the Wolfman, Mike.
Yeah. This is where the real freaks hang out, alright? Yeah! Let's hear some rock and roll, baby, yeah!
We're back. We are back. And I got my my awesome loyal panel with me here. The four horsemen are here. Can you guys howl? Oh my lord, there's a monster in the house. So tonight's second half of the show, or this is a different show, we're just going to talk. I think the start of this show is going to be about shadow people. Is Jeff there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Right on, buddy.
I've got a shadow person story for you.
You do?
Really a story.
Oh, nice. Oh.
Can't forget, right?
Yeah, that was...
Set us up.
All right, let her rip, man.
All right, so, you know, this happened a long time ago, but I can't forget it. You know, I was probably, I was 9 years old. This happened at night. I was going to bed. And, I get in my room, close the door, turn the lights off, get in bed. It's quiet. You know, at the time I had, I had a pet rat. And, real friendly. You'd call it, it'd come to you. You'd play with it. Well, it was just laying there. Lights were off. Peaceful, quiet. And I could hear on the carpet like footsteps, like moving across the carpet. And I'm thinking, what is this? And
you thought it was your rat?
No, yeah, I thought it was a rat, but it felt like bigger steps. And all of a sudden, the rat starts running back and forth through the cage and shaking the cage.
Had he done that before?
Oh no, never. First time. Never done this before.
This is really creeping me out because, it's kind of a creepy story. I'm hearing some voices in my backyard. Okay, keep going.
Rats freaking me out. Guess what? That freaked me out. So I tilt my head up and I look at the rat cage and I look over at the door because my bed was across the room from the door. And the rat cage was on the opposite wall, between the door and the bed. I look over, and there's some light coming in through the window, not a whole lot, just some moonlight. And you see this, and you hear these soft footsteps on the carpet. It's that quiet. And you see this 3 foot, the only way I could describe it was a 3-dimensional shadow. It's like a shadow that had depth to it, had dimension to it.
It had weight to it.
And you look, it had weight, you could hear it. And guess what? It looks over, and I'm not kidding you, it's got red eyes. These were red, glowing eyes.
This was in your room or right in your bedroom?
It's right in the bedroom, and the rat's freaking out. I'm like, what the? And I just sat up, and I was just and I just yelled at the top of my lungs, get out of here. Because I didn't know what else to do.
Did you stay there?
So I yelled, "Get out of there!" And I ran up, and I just ran over to the light and turned it on, and it was gone.
Did you tell your parents?
Nope, it was just too freaky. I mean, this was something that just.
Did you ever tell them later?
No.
How old were you then again?
I was 9 years old. I mean, so it wasn't just. I know it wasn't me like freaking out. You know, it's like an animal heard it too. But it walked from like the door towards like, you know, the rat cage that I had. It didn't walk towards me, which was kind of strange.
It's checking out your pet rat.
Oh man,
it knew it was coming.
It freaked it out. It freaked out the rat.
What was your rat's name?
His name was Ray.
Ray the rat. Was it a white and black one?
Or you can call me Jay.
It was a white one with red eyes.
Maybe it had red eyes too.
It had red eyes too. It was like albino.
Yeah, man. When I wake up in the morning, I've got their red eyes too, man.
Different kind of red eyes. But that's something, I mean, I'll never forget. That just...
I had rats too. I loved rats. Rats are good pets.
Yeah.
And they're good eating too.
Good on his
tastes
right?
great.
Like on that
That's
old
my
lunch show.
story, man.
Have you guys, when you were hey, I got a really cool thing. You can still do this, but when I was a kid, we used to play a game called Faces and Features. And we used to go inside, actually it was a doghouse, and you could shut the door and it was completely black dark in there. And just sit down and stare at either one person, or it could be three people all staring at the person next to each other. But it works better when you just stare at one person straight on, face to face, and then you ask a question: can I see the faces and features of, say, Elvis Presley? And it's amazing what happens if you just sit there staring. All of a sudden you see Elvis Presley.
You mean when your eyes start adjusting to the dark?
Because there's no light at all. There is no light. So you just start seeing things.
Mind.
Your mind starts just creating things.
Weird.
It's almost like an isolation box. If you can cut the light completely out. Like we had this place so that there was absolutely no light. It was complete darkness.
Yeah, see, my room wasn't like that, man. It was, moonlight coming through. There was some light under the door. You know?
That's a
No, I believe
story.
it. I believe it.
It's a great story.
Oh, yeah.
You guys want to hear a similar story?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I never really thought about it being like a shadow person story, but there was one time I was backpacking up in Pennsylvania, and we were like, I was with my girlfriend, we were like 5 miles from the nearest road, you know, out in the middle of the woods. And we're in the tent, and it's pitch black. There's no moon. And I hear this noise, you know, and I'm thinking, oh, it's probably a skunk or something outside, a raccoon. And so I just opened up the tent, and I looked out, and I saw this, like, glowing, and I thought it was eyes, right? And it was kind of greenish, just very faint. And I'm staring at it, and it's only about 4 feet away. And so I get my flashlight, and I shine it out there, and there's nothing there. And so the flashlight kind of ruined my night vision, so I didn't see it. I turned the flashlight out, and I didn't see it. But then I go, a few minutes later, I go back and look, and it's there again. You know, it's like something is there that's glowing. And I was getting freaked out, like what this could be. So eventually, like the next morning, I get out and I'm looking like exactly where I was staring, and there was a root that was rotten, and it had, this is the best explanation I have. It had some sort of like glowworms or something, maybe, because it was rotting and it was like bioluminescence. But it's, my mind, it just plays tricks on you. Like you see eyes. Like if something's glowing, it just freaks you out.
Could have been green lichen maybe or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes I get bioluminescence on my armpits.
We know.
Maybe not. Just kidding.
Have you guys ever seen auras around people? Like stare at another person in the light?
Yeah.
And then see their aura?
I have.
Yeah, it's
Once
really
in a while
cool.
I can see that. I found
different people have different colors around them.
I actually have a technique on how to put myself into that frame of mind where I can see that, and it's by shutting my eyes like almost all the way, but leaving them open just slightly, so just this weird bit of distorted light I can see, right? And I just do that for a while, and I kind of meditate and try to put myself to sleep, but leave my eyes just partially open. And then all of a sudden you'll just explode, and you'll see all these weird colors and shit. Will start just freaking you right out. You can see it's almost like you're seeing like a bat. Like you can see like without your eyes open. You can shut your eyes and see. But it's all in weird energy, like kind of electrical looking shit. I've been in that zone before a few times, yeah. It's hard to get into that zone, though.
Yeah, I guess different auras mean different things, different colors. I'm not an expert.
When I was training martial arts, we did the blindfolded sparring, and that's how I first encountered that.
Well, that'd be a challenge.
Yeah, well, somebody's kicking and punching at you and you're blindfolded, right? After a while, you start seeing shit, and it's weird. And you can just feel it when someone's going to go kick you. And then you start noticing that sort of like an electrical outline around, and it's like black and white, sort of. But you can still sort of see.
And you probably pick up more on the sounds, too.
No, not at all. It's just like a feel, like an electrical feel. Like I can feel the static energy from the other person's body, like the electrical field. Yeah, it's cool. Electrical.
Do you think that's where we got this Pokemon idea? Maybe the cameras can pick up little entities.
How the fuck do they do that? That's weird.
What, Pokemon?
Are we really we're gonna jump from shadow creatures to Pokemon? Really, man? Okay.
Hey, you gotta
but this Pokemon Go game could possibly create shadow people.
Or midgets.
I went Pokemon going with my kids, and it's amazing, Mike.
You do it?
So we would go down to the river. And imagine this, there's 200 people just all along the river, all peaceful, and they're all sharing information about which Pokemon's arriving, wherever. And every once in a while there'll be like a rare Pokemon, and everyone will rush to the area. And there's mostly like 18 to 23-year-olds, but there's also families. There's little kids dressed up in like Pikachu, and it's like Halloween down there. And everybody's peaceful.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Oh, it took over the park. All the homeless people are down there. They're loving it, of course.
That's kind of cool. It's getting people out and when they're out, like they will, even though they're staring at their phones most of the time.
Yeah, but they talk too.
Yeah, they don't have to stare at you. It's not a kind of game, is it, that you have to keep staring at the screen?
No, because your phone will vibrate, and there's like a Pokemon in the area, and then all of a sudden there'll be like a murmur over the crowd, and they'll start yelling which Pokemon, and everyone will move towards it. I mean, they've caused traffic jams in major cities.
That's funny. I like that.
It's really insane. It's weird. I wonder how long it'll stay popular. I work at the hotel, and there's a gym like right around the corner, so people are always pulling up into the zone. And they're like, I go, "Are you checking in?" And they're like, "No, we're Pokemon hunting." And I go, and if it's slow enough, I'll go catch it and get back. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, down the road, they had one of the strip clubs advertising they had Pokemon in there.
They had
God, you want to fuck Pokemon?
I have no idea what's going on.
Strip club Pokemon. Oh wow, sounds like
what happens is some of the gyms just get generated in different locations. That's why some people are so furious. My boss has a gym like right outside of his house, and there's people out there all the time. It drives him nuts. So it's kind of a random thing where they generate sometimes, and other times I don't really get it. But I was really surprised how many kids are down there, and it was nice. There's no drinking. It wasn't like in the 70s, like when we'd go out or go cruise the gut or something. It's just a bunch of drunk people. I mean, the kids today, at least the ones that I know that are my kids' friends and all those Pokemon people, they're really good kids. It's nice to see. But I was thinking, where's the future of this? I mean, this is just one game where everyone's playing. Could you imagine a game where everyone plays, but then you actually interact with each other? Or like have fake fights, or like a sword fight, kind of like Boffring or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or like a D&D or something.
Well, or like a D&D. I mean, I bet that this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. Or a scary game where you have to, where you hear crashing, and all of a sudden you get to this spot, and then it just, something crazy happens, and you hear all this, and you die, you got strangled or whatever.
They'll be
I'm going to call it Pokemon Ghost. That's what you're going to call it.
Yeah, there you go. And they scare the crap out of you. Yeah, your phone starts just buzzing, and it says "kill, kill, kill," and then it puts a microwave signal into your brain so that you start just killing people. Who knows?
I can just imagine the games that are coming down the pipe, though.
Well, they wouldn't want to do that.
Get the people interacting with each other, like fighting each other or forming groups or gangs. Who knows what'll happen?
Okay, I'm gonna try playing another of these blue heads.
This one's my favorite.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna try playing. It's a song called "Rolling." This is "Rolling" by the Blueheads. Hope everybody enjoys it.
Twice.
That didn't work out good. Somebody trying to Skype dial me while I'm playing a song and screwed this right up. Never thought of that.
I try to clear the red from out of my eyes. I need you to keep me rolling. I try to fuck you, but you always deny me. I need you to keep me rolling. I try to stay cool and not too nice. I need you to keep me rolling. But you know I must do that. I don't want no fight. I need you to keep me rolling. To keep me rolling.
We are back.
I'm back.
Yeah, I think I gotta put my phone on. I was playing that out of my phone so you guys could hear it through the board. I'm gonna have to put it on airplane mode because it actually disrupted the song and started. I don't know what happened with our Skype, but you guys tried to dial and it came through on my phone while I was.
Oh crap!
Yeah, well, I have to remember to put that on airplane mode so it doesn't affect anything.
Are we still on, Mike?
Oh yeah, we're on. We just played the Blueheads.
Right on. That's good. I heard part of it, but then the power went out here. So.
Oh, is that what happened? Because all of a sudden
Yeah,
it started dialing back at me.
Yeah, the power went out, so I lost connection.
Yeah, I lost connection too there for a sec. Hopefully the music was still playing.
Oh yeah, that all worked. So that's good that it happened while the song was playing, actually. Okay, I want to talk to Jeff a little bit more about this shadow thing he saw. I want him to hear some of the shit I've seen when I was a kid. How old were you then?
I was 9 when I first.
Okay.
That's the first one I saw. I've seen others before that, but not shadow. They were a little different.
Yeah. Okay. First things we saw, I was always at my grandmother's house when we stayed over there, and our parents dropped us off for the week or the weekend or whatever. And we always had that. Or summer holidays, we'd be dropped at my grandparents and stay there for the whole summer sometimes. One of us or two of us, you know. There was 5 kids. So, but anyway, we were down in the basement. We were just watching an old black and white TV, and there was they had a kitchen and a living room down in their basement too, so it was kind of nice. But the little basement windows were high up, and I think it was my brother first noticed this face in the window looking in on us, and this thing had red eyes too, and we were shitting our pants. This thing, it looked like some kind of ape face. And it was staring in through at the window. And we're screaming upstairs and said, there's a face in the window. They come down, check it out, and there's nothing there. And all right, we were just imagining it. And
was this at night?
Yeah, it was at night, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was at night. It was dark outside, so... and then it happened several times after that, the same face in the window thing. And it wasn't
Did
just...
your grandma ever see it?
No, just us kids. All of the kids seen the same thing. Though.
Did she believe you?
Yeah, because all the kids were saying the same thing. At
Was
different,
she freaked?
and not even at the same time. Like sometimes there was 2 different kids from the family there, and they had the same pretty much experience as the other 2 kids. So they were saying almost,
Wow.
yeah, that's why they believed it. So, and there was stuff in the upstairs, and when we went in the upstairs of the house by ourselves, nobody would go up there. When the house, even in the daytime, no one would go out in the upstairs. None of us kids would. We were terrified to go up there into the upper bedrooms.
Was it like an attic?
Yeah, sometimes we'd hear voices, or we'd see objects, like a ball or a ball of thread from her sewing machine would just drop off and then roll across the floor, and no one's up there.
That's freaky.
That's creepy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you find it? Was there any history to the house?
I wish they would have kept it, but they sold it. But it's in Aylmer, Ontario, and it's one of the right on the edge by the farming area. So it was like a real farming, like pioneer area.
So it was an old house.
Yeah, it's an old house.
Was it by a cemetery?
No, not this one. This was in town. There was a tree there that one time my brother and I were outside playing, and the tree branches actually bent and formed into a face and tried talking to us. It was freaky. And it was like the face of an Indian, a Native American. It was really creepy. But we couldn't understand what it said. No.
That's a great story.
It's not over yet. This story is not. It's far from finished. After that, the faces in the window. I think that's in the wood. It kept going on, and then we started seeing this monster in our dreams. This ape creature monster with big fangs and red eyes. And we started seeing it in our dreams, even when we came home from the farm.
What do you mean we? All the kids?
Yeah, my brother and I, and I'm not sure if my older brother, but my younger sister too.
Jeff, did you ever have nightmares about your shadow person?
No, I've had a couple other less friendly experiences. I've been like held down before.
Yeah, I've had that
by an invisible. I mean, just laying down there, all of a sudden you feel yourself being like pressed into the bed, and you're just like, "What is this?" Quiet, and it just feels,
And you're just terrified, right?
Evil. Yeah. You don't
can't even scream.
You can move, but you don't want to. Yeah,
you can't even scream. You're so scared. That's what I felt. But then, what happened was it escalated to the point where my grandmother actually went and got the Catholic Church involved. My mother and my grandmother went and talked to the priest in town, and they actually came and assessed the property. Were
you there to see that?
Yeah, I actually wanted everything to do with it. I actually assisted the priest. I asked him everything. I wanted to assist him, and I was just little. But I actually assisted him doing it. He let me, and he showed me how to do it. And he showed me what to do. Well, we went around the whole property, around the outside of the hedge and everything, to the front yard, and way around all around the property, and spread holy salt, and said prayers as we did it. Anyone can do this.
Holy salt.
Yeah.
Never heard of holy salt.
Yeah, that's what they use for that. They bless the salt, and that's what they use to ward off the evil. Yeah, the Catholic Church will give you holy salt if you need it.
I've never heard of that. I grew up Catholic. That's
well,
cool.
No, that's part of the church that they don't really, really like to tell everyone about. It's just like exorcisms.
Yeah,
they keep it under wraps because. But if you ask for it,
I was good friends with one of the chaplains of the entire East Coast, and I would share with him these stories, And he would say, "Yeah, you're not the only one that had stories like this." And he was really interested because it's something that they take pretty serious. Because if someone's surrounded by or seeing stuff like this, that's something they're concerned with. I don't know. It's
Have you ever seen anything in the ER that was a miracle?
No, I've not really. I think there's some people that come in there and they're probably, on some sort of drug or something. But I think that a few of them, it kind of opens up their third eye, and they can kind of see stuff that other people can't, and it's not stuff that they're making up.
They believe it.
Well, yeah, but they'll act like something's gonna happen, or they'll see something over in some area, and a few minutes later, something happened. I mean, it's just really freaky.
Wow.
Because they get all freaked out, and they're they start saying something's gonna happen, or this is gonna happen, and something does. I mean, it's really
in that area.
How do they know?
My grandmother used to see my grandmother when she was dying in the hospital would see my grandfather come in and talk and have conversations with him, and I said, "Who are you talking to?" She said, "Well, that's just Pa. Just say hi to him. And he's right there. He's right there."
Yeah, I've had that experience.
I work with a guy. I mean, I do private stuff at homes and stuff, and I work with a guy who's seeing his brother that died 10 years ago.
Having a full conversation.
He's like, hey, he's pointing to him. He's sitting there and he's pointing. He's like, "Do you see Adam?" And I'm like, "Who's Adam?" He's like, "It's my brother." I'm like,
yeah.
What do I say? And
I worked for hospice for 8 or 10 years, and I had a few different patients that were having full conversations with somebody on the other side, and he goes, "I'll be right with you." He'll look. This one time he looked up at me and he goes, "I'll be right with you. I'm just finishing up this conversation." And then he just had the full conversation, and he goes, "Okay, well, and God bless you and goodbye." And then he would turn towards me, just like somebody's right there. It's pretty weird.
Yeah, well, I used to work in a cadaver lab, and there was one day, there was 3 of us in there, and we had a cadaver just sitting there on the table, and it just moved its arm. Just moved its arm. I mean, and we all just kind of left.
Yeah, well, didn't you think the guy was still alive, man? You should have went and helped him. Holy shit, I thought you were a doctor. What are you doing leaving him there?
Alive? It was, the guy had been dead for 6 days or something.
Well, that used to happen. People sometimes go into a comatose state, and then they do come back alive again. It's weird, but that happens.
He was cold. We pulled him out of the refrigerator. So
how far did it move? Were you all right? Were you all right on him?
We were. Well, we were probably 10 feet away from him, and just moved its arm, and then just dropped it on the table.
So did he lift it up, or did it just kind of move off of him and then onto the ground, or?
He moved it up and then just dropped it on the table.
With a clunk.
That's not even one of the responses that happens with dead bodies that I've heard of.
No,
I've heard of that before. Cadavers move, don't they?
Yeah, but not their arms like that, though. Not lifting their arm and dropping it. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah. Well, after they can still move a couple hours. They might twitch and stuff like that. But after you've been in the basically a walk-in refrigerator for a couple of days. You don't move. Well, you're not supposed to. Yeah.
How long did you guys leave the room for? Did you go back at all, or did you wait till the next day?
No, we went back. We took a really long lunch, and then we were like to try to forget about it. And then we all walked in kind of slowly.
Did you pick the arm back up and put it back on him?
Well, it didn't fall. I mean, we usually just leave the thing is we leave the arms next to him. We don't put them on top.
Why don't you just attach them so that you don't have to worry about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was still attached, but I'm just saying that his arm wasn't on his, across his chest. It was we just leave them next to their side so they don't fall. Well, this one lifted up and just fell down again.
Oh. That was freaky.
Oh.
What were you guys doing with the cadavers? Were you in medical school or?
No, we prepare them for different, people, companies that want to use them for whatever reason. We'd take them in, get them ready to.
You stab them, we slab them.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Hey, Marcus, are you there? I don't know if he's there. Marcus. That's weird because he hasn't said a word, but it shows that he's on.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I just muted my mic.
Okay.
I was listening to the stream to see how it sounded. It sounds good.
We're almost out of time here. I wanted you to. You had something to say about Pokemon or something.
Who, me?
Yeah, didn't you say you wanted to? Or was that?
Oh, no, me. We already talked about Pokemon.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Well, we got 5 minutes left. This was cool, man. I like this show. The experience. We're running out of time, though. If anybody wants something to say in the last few minutes, go for it.
I just wonder if anybody's seen any other type of ghost or anything like that.
Oh, geez, I've seen all kinds of them. That's we could keep going on another show here. I've seen shadow people. I've seen a shadow dog. I've seen all kinds of shadow people around this haunted clock that we have. Actually, we have a haunted grandfather clock.
Yeah, I used to see the. It's really odd. I don't know why they would do this, but I would see they just wave their arm in front of the door. I don't know if you guys have seen something like that.
Oh my God! I seen a hand actually pulling weeds out and throwing them on the side of on my front yard, pulling out of the sidewalk weeds, just a hand, and then it disappeared.
Yes. Well, see, I was at the end of a. There was no way this was possible because I was the end of a hallway, and this arm would show up in front of the door, but it was impossible for someone to stand there because they would have been in the wall.
Right, I get you.
Yeah.
So where did the arms coming from? Nowhere. It's just waving, and then it just disappeared. Or you see a face. And you see a face, and there's nowhere for them to hide. It just shows up.
Hey, Wolfman.
Yeah.
What happened? So after the priest went around and did the salt, what became of it? Did
it help?
Things...
Yeah, actually did help. Yeah, and we were able to go upstairs and sleep in the bedrooms upstairs after that, and nothing. And we didn't have any more activity there at all. It worked.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to finish that story. I needed to know what happened.
Yeah.
So does the salt work for aliens too, or?
I don't know. That's a good question. Because I've had stuff like that happen too, so I don't really know if that works or not. But I would say it'd probably be a good thing to do, nonetheless, because maybe it might work. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe they use sugar. I don't know.
With all the stuff you've seen, I'm surprised you don't carry that salt with you all the time.
I make my own. Any kind of salt works. Rock salt works really good. Even just this kind you throw in your driveway works great. Thanks for being on, everyone. We're gonna have to continue this, man. Yeah, that's a good point, though. The salt, yeah, that's what you use. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yes.
I'm playing
There's
the
a spooky show.
I'm playing the exiting music. It's from an old band I was in. It's a song called Worm Vomit, and it's about tequila. It's kind of a spooky, creepy song too. I got lots of them. See you guys next week.
Good night, everybody.
All right, good night.
For free. Need someone's with me. Have a meal for free. Rolling out of society is a pile of shit. The worms are rolling out of it. I eat society. I puke it out. I said it's out my opposite. All the kids out man. You get out man. You get out man.
I don't remember eating that.
Shit in the fucking head, which they used to do. If you made it, if you did it, or whatever like that, you fucking grab a plug. Well, they used to plug them. But, no, yeah. A nice pointed fucking...
Well, they got nice white fur. Where are you going to get it anywhere else? What's wrong with it?
Right,
as long as you eat some meat,
fucking cranium, man.
there's nothing wrong
And then
with
once
it.
you get there, one shot, you know, and then you can drag it along. You know,
I don't see nothing wrong with it. They taste good, too.